is my Maytag commercial technology washer, and this is like 3 years old. I bought it in October of 2016. Now it's October of 2019, and when I put it on spin cycle, it makes this noise. So the first thing I did was I bought a splutch and replaced the splutch. So this is the older splutch, and I didn't see any damage on this splutch. That's the wheel that is attached to it. Neither do I see on this one, but I ended up replacing it. But still the noise is there, so I'm guessing that the transmission is bad. And if you are aware of these, or they had put transmission with transmission fluid in there, so it's quite a bit of rumbling noise. So here I got the transmission, which came in a little big box. So I'm going to take this transmission, and here is the part which it's a new transmission. I bought it on eBay, not bad price. I decided to try to replace this instead of buying a new one. So here is the thing. So first thing you want to do is just pop this off, and don't drop it in this thing. But once you pop it off, you'll see a bolt in there. So I'm going to get a socket and a wrench, a long extension you needed. So the bolt was very difficult to turn, and what I had was I used the smaller impact wrench, and that didn't do anything. So I had to get my bigger impact wrench. So unless you have something like that, so these are used for my car repair stuff, but this one had enough power to release it. So it might be a little difficult for you if you are not able to get it off. In my case, I had this big extension, and then I had a little extension to it, so that could get me in there, and it was able to loosen the bolt. And the next is, once I get the bolt out, I will be able to pull this straight up. Okay, to remove the agitator, it was quite difficult because it was stuck pretty solid into the center of the metal, and it was not coming out. So I tried a few tricks I saw online with rope and with a 2x4. So you can jam the 2x4 and lift it up with the rope and stuff. Ultimately, I did have a few notches here, you can see from the rope, which really didn't help, and this one also. So I have to now grind it so that it doesn't catch in the clothes. But what happened is I also poured some hot water in there, so in this hole, and then I just rammed it a little bit so that it got loose. And it took me a little while, but if you just keep on moving this away from the thing, and it came off. So now you will see why it was all jammed up, because you can see this is all rusted out, or it's pretty rusted here, this portion, and this is also rusted. So if you look at it, so there was a lot of rust built up in the last 3 years, and I wonder why they would make a part where it will rust, and this is supposed to have water in it. So they didn't put good material so that it doesn't rust. Though you can see the tub is stainless steel, why wouldn't they put these parts as stainless steel? So either way, I got the the agitator out. So if you have problems, just give it a lot of shake and keep on it. Don't have to use the other tools, and it should come out. The next part is I have to take the tub out. So there is this this notched plastic piece. Look at this, and so this comes off. And the next thing is I have to remove the top cover here, and this tub should be free to come out. You can see it should be free to come out. I have to remove this top, and it has to be removed from the back. So to remove the top, what I have to do is unbolt this one. So there is one here, and it takes a 1/4 inch, and this one, and there is one over here. So these two will, and then there is one right here. So this is a smaller one probably. It's the same. So these three bolts will allow us to slide the top. So once you have removed the 3 screws in the back, you can see the 3 screws are different sizes. There is a smaller one right there and the 2 other ones, and you will be able to remove this plate over here. So it just comes out, and I'll leave this 2 screws. So to remove the top, what you do is you slide this back. So you can see I have slid back. You lift it and then push it back, and then it will open up. So you can see that these are joined over here. So I'm going to drop it there, and now I'm going to take these tabs out. So you can see the tabs here. So I'll take a screwdriver and pry these tabs out, and then the top, there are tabs all over. Like there is one here, you can see one tab here. So there are tabs all around. So once I got the tabs out, the cover will pop up, and I'll put it aside. Now this should lift the inner basket, should lift out, but since it's all rusted, I'm going to put in some PB Blaster here to take some of the rust out and let it soak for 10-15 minutes. This is very rusted, you can see. And then I will try to pull this inner basket out. So the inside drum, if you can't get it out, I used a mallet and just keep hitting the center, and it will get dislodged. So this might be stuck quite a bit, but our inside drum came out, and now there is water left because I had poured some water. I'm going to try to drain that water out. I used a sponge to soak all the water out, so it's pretty clean. So I'm going to put this lid back and secure it. So you drop it and then again push it back, and this will lock the same way as we're opposite of what we have. Now I'm going to tilt this washer to access the bottom. To get to the transmission from the bottom, first I have to remove this shield, the plastic shield, 5x16 socket, and there are 2 screws here. So that comes off, and there is one more on this side. Next, I'm going to take the belt off. So the easiest way is to rotate the belt and slide it off. So here's the belt. Next, I'm going to take this the pulley out. So this one takes a 1/2 inch. So you may have to hold it and then get it off. I'm going to use my other hand, and that should get the pulley out. Here I got the screw, the pulley screw out. So this looks to be good. And now I'm going to take this off and take this clutch out. So this one is connected through this one and one green screw. You can see those two, and that will come off. So once I got the shifter out, it was hooked up like this. All I have to do on this one is twist this and it should come off. So make sure the spring is in there. This is a splutch, and this is the transmission we have to remove. So I will get these bolts out, 1, 2, and there are 2 more on that side. So these ones will require a 10mm socket. So I'm going to so it's good to have an impact driver. And then there are 2 more. So one right there and the other right there. I'm going to remove those. So with the motor removed, I'm going to take the last bolt out over here. And then the part is to remove this from the tub. So you have to pull it and dislodge it from the tub. So I got the transmission out. It just came out. It's not going to be difficult to come out at this point since I removed the motor. And this one, now I'm going to remove the 2 wire harnesses so that I can dislodge this out. So these will be, if I pull it out, and it has with needle nose pliers, I can put the needle nose pliers in there. So I've used both my hands, and then I'm going to dislodge that. I'm also going to take this one off, also came out. So, and I will also take this one off. So the wiring harness is dislodged from the transmission, and I will remove the transmission. So I got the transmission off, and now I have to remove this capacitor here. So this one has a tab in there. So lift this tab, and once it comes off, just twist it. Once it comes off the groove or the notch, and you twist it, and it should turn. So here, once you get this tab out of the hole, it will come off, and that doesn't look good. It's the old transmission. You can see it has a lot of dirt in it and looks bad. So I'm going to put the new transmission back the same way as I took the old one and see how that works. So here is a transmission I got off eBay, and these are, I don't know whether it's worth the effort, but it's probably around $160. You can probably get it online, maybe a little cheaper on eBay, but you never know what the quality you're getting. But I've seen $165 plus shipping, $170, or sometimes I've seen $120. So I'm going to try it. Looks good to me, and this is a 2019 build. So March 20th. Now it's November 2019. So I'll give it a try. So first thing, I'm going to put it inside the tub and make sure it goes in and seals properly. So that's the biggest part, is if I can get that inside the tub and put it in properly. Once I put this in, I'm going to tighten these bolts down, and once you just make sure that it is bolted properly and it is all the way, it is snug onto the tub here. So I've bolted all the four, and that's probably the most difficult one to put it back on. But if you can align it properly into the holes, and it should align fine, and use the impact driver so that it gets in and pulls the transmission shaft all the way in and seals it properly to the tub. So I put the motor back on, and it was not difficult. These mounts, these bolts, started with your finger tightening, and then I replaced the splutch kit. So this splutch kit is not expensive. On Amazon or eBay you can get it for $22 plus taxes and free shipping. So I will put the number on, and you can get a factory splutch kit, and which comes with the pulley also. So I will put this new pulley. I'll keep the old one. The old one was not bad. Means I looked at this splutch and it was not a problem, but since this was giving me so much of noise, I decided to get a new splutch kit. So I will put this back on. Just make sure that this tab goes into when you put the actuator in, the tab goes in there and in this so that it can lock it, and it rotates the tub as well. And I'm going to tighten the screws here and do the rest of the pulley and put the belt on. So I put the tub back in. It's not that difficult. And then I put this tab in, and I lightly hammered it, and it went in. So that's the amount it will go. And I'm going to try it out and see. So I have sprayed a little bit of PB Blaster in there just to make it a little bit rust resistant. I don't know how much it will help, but I hope it doesn't rust again, but it probably will. So to put the agitator back in, I'm going to tilt it upside down and put the bolt in first. So I will push the bolt in so I can hold the bolt through here, and then I will hold it with my long socket, so when I tilt it back, the bolt will not fall off. Here I'm running a first cycle after I changed the transmission. So this is in the rinse cycle now. You can see it's draining the water. And I will record the spin cycle as well. So this is another sound of the spin cycle. That's way quieter than it was before the transmission was changed.